everyone, Vice here. Today marks the 30th anniversary of the start of a great RPG series known as the Mother series. Mother 1 is now 30 years old. While it is true that Mother 1 is one game in the series that has aged pretty poorly, it still should be given some time in the spotlight on this day. So it's time to try to see how difficult this game can get. Can you beat Mother 1 with only Ninten? Let's lay out some rules. Number 1, Ninten only. Ninten will be the only one allowed to do battle with enemies. When other characters are in the party, they'll only be allowed to defend and run. I'll also try to get the other members of the party knocked out as soon as possible. If it's an escort party member, I'll just run the whole time. Number 2, no equipment. Ninten will not be allowed to equip gear. This makes things a whole lot more painful to deal with. I'll have to rely on getting level ups and items that increase max stats when eaten. Speaking of items, number 3, items can only be used outside of battle. If Ninten wants to heal HP or PP with items, he has to do it when he's outside of battle. In battle, Ninten will only be allowed to use his basic attacks and PSI. Ninten won't use items in battle. Number 4, key item management. Key items can only be carried by Ninten or be put in storage via his sister. If at any point a key item is placed in a member's inventory space, I have to give Ninten the key item right away. With those rules out of the way, let's get started. Doing with the lamps and doll, we already get the first tune. I did the rest of the house stuff, including a book for later in the game. So now I do some leveling. Oh, well, it has been a while since I played this. I'm sure things will get a little better. The strokes took away both the orange juice I got from the Ninten sisters and killed me. Then I later tried to heal after battle, but used the bread instead of eating it with laid down club instead of healing me. Well, that was the worst possible start I've ever had. You learn PSI in this game not by level up, but by fighting while at a certain level. Level 3 gives me Life Up Alpha. I decided to level up to level 7 before moving on. I talked to a worried mother on the way to Podunk Town and her daughter is missing. In town, I go see the mayor and I get to do his job for him. I go to the department pet store at the shop at the top of the floor. The guy asks if I want a bird. I say yes for the first time and no when he asks for $85. This makes him give you the pet bird for free. On the way to town, there was a path in the forest to the left I skipped. I go back there to Canary Village. At the very back of town, there's a hidden hole in the wall. I give the mother bird her kid back, she sings, and we already have the second tune. Now for a plan I had for leveling up a bit faster. The mayor told us earlier that the daughter was lost in the cemetery. I have questions I don't want answers to. Anyway, I know there are a couple of zombies disguised as townspeople. They are near the path heading to the cemetery at the bottom of town. I'll just grind off of those, or so I thought. After dealing with those two zombies, it turns out that they do not respawn. So much for picking your battles. So instead I decided to just see if I can get to the cemetery done as possible as I am now. That was a mistake. Once I enter the cemetery, I end up getting myself lost in the area for a bit. Then I end up finding the tomb just before I was about to leave. Entering the tomb, there are 4 coffins. 3 are zombies, and 1 is the missing daughter. Again, questions I don't want answers to. Now I have a problem. I have an escort member, and I only have 63 HP to make it all the way back to town to his daughter to the mayor. I get very lucky, and I was able to run from most fights. This game is known to be hard, and running from fights can be quite a real pain to deal with. If I didn't get to level 8 when finding some enemies in the cemetery, I'm very sure things would have turned out differently. If Peppy dies, I would have had to waste money reviving her to give her back to the mayor. If Ninten died, well, while my rules say that other characters can defend and run away, if at any point Ninten dies and other characters are still alive, I'll have to reload. I got lucky. Now the mayor wants us to go and deal with the zoo problem. Well, I got problems of my own. More leveling. However, I decided to go buy 3 sports drinks and try the zoo anyway. I go to the zoo, and before I even reach the entrance, I encounter the strongest enemy there, a tiger. I learned Defense Up Alpha at level 7, so I tried using that. It still does around 7 to 10 damage to me, even with the defense boost. What makes things worse is that it can hit twice. So I leave because I'm not ready for that section yet. Time to level up the cemetery, up to level 15. This gives me a lot of useful PS moves that'll help me. Defense down Alpha, 4th D-Slip, PSI Shield Alpha, and Quick Up. 4th D-Slip makes you run from fights a lot easier, and PSI Shield Alpha doubles your defense for a short time. But then I finally head in the zoo. The monk stole the key, but you just break the door anyway. Now at the end of the zoo there is a building. Inside is a boss, but once you defeat the boss, the enemies in the zoo disappear forever. So now there's never a great time to level up. It's for the boss, but mainly for the fact that the next area after this has annoying enemies, and once you encounter that new area, you have to go through it and can't go back. So because of this, I'll be leveling up to level 20. Level 18, I'll get the defensive up PSI. This means that I'll have all PSI buffs I want. I finally entered the zoo building and get an antidote, bread, and life up cream. Time to take on the boss, Starman Jr. My strat for the bosses will be increasing my defense first, then increasing my attack power. Sometimes I might increase speed if I'm slower than them. Well, he instant killed me. Let's try it again. He's gonna kill me again! Okay, since this is an early boss, let's increase power right before an attack. Ha! Now you get one shot at you jerk! Outside we see the monkey in a fence. Start to sing and we get the third tune. We go to the mayor, but he doesn't care. We head right out of the zoo, get past the police, and enter a cave. We use our telepathic PSI on the weird pink spiral, and welcome to the strange world of Magicant. I get the ocarina from one of the residents. I also put away the book since we don't need it now that we're in Magicant. I go into the castle via using telepathy. I go into the only room with an item I care about. 6 presents, and once you open one, all your presents can't be taken. I take the top right one and get a fight capsule. All capsules-based items give you a max stat increase. This will be very useful, so I'll be trying to get a lot of them. I go see the queen and she says go collect the 8 tunes and play them for her via the ocarina. Anyway, time to head outside. Go these groups of wells and enter the dungeon to get out of Magicant. Right, left, and right to get past the first part. I get this PSI stone so I can heal PP outside of battle. This fish boss is a complete joke. He was blocking an Onyx hook, which lets us return to Magicant at any time. We also now have 3 key items out of our 8 inventory spaces. This weird guy in this picture frame, like space, is really sad. After saying no, then yes to him, he disappears and lets us exit. Now I follow the path and enter Marysville and its school. We need to head up to the roof, but it's locked. I go talk to the janitor about it, answering his complaint about wife, life, and whatnot via yes, no, and yes, and he finally goes and unlocks the roof. After talking to Lloyd, not Jeff, he wants a bottle rocket. I head south to reach the sweet factory. I use bread to get crumbs so I can warp out of here after being done with this area. Within the factory I get physical capsule, an extra life up cream, a fight capsule, death, quick capsule, and finally, the bottle rocket. We give him the bottle rocket and he joins after blowing up a room. I go get not Jeff killed and heal up, getting bread to set up the next factory up north on the hills. On the way there, I realize something. I'll say what it is shortly. On the way through the hill path, we randomly find a pass. There's a dog blocking the factory asking for a pass, using it, and we find out it has expired. The dog attacks and yeah, easy. Dropping bread to leave later, I head up through the factory until I reach 2 rooms. One room has a bread placement, and the other has the Franklin badge. That's what I realized. I should have gotten the Franklin badge earlier. Mother 1 is the only game in the series that gives you more than one of these items. Pippi was supposed to give it to me. Why didn't she? Well, because I said yes to when she said I was brave. Turns out if you say no, I would have gotten the badge. So when I said yes, the game thought I was full of myself, so I didn't get it. This whole time, all those instant death beams I took could have been avoided. Now you're probably thinking, can't use the badge anyway because of your rules. Actually, I can use it. It's not an equip item, it's an item that uses itself in battle. That's also the key thing to note. I said you can't use items in battle. Thing is though, you aren't using an item. The item is using itself. So the Franklin badge is allowed. Anyway, I use the crumbs to warp back to the start. I go left and down to go to a room and get 3 capsules. Quick, physical, and wisdom. I end up trying to run from the end of the factory, but end up dying. I do all the bread setup stuff and get to the end of the factory this time. My worst fear happens. I need not Jeff alive and to use this large rocket so I can blow up the rocks blocking the track outside. So I have to go get more levels so I have the decent amount of the 4th D stuff so I can run from battles easier. I actually don't know how many levels I need. 10 of the PSI moves would cost 160, and my max is only half that. 10 is also not enough, so I might have to gain more levels than that. Also, I have to level south of town on the path to Sweet Factory because the track near town has cars and truck enemies. If they decide to exhaust you, Ninten will catch a cold. They made it so only Ninten will get hit by it, and once he does, he can't move for the rest of the combat. So in this one's case, That's another instant death, and the Franklin badge can't save us there. Anyway, I guess I'll level up to 30 and see if I can get by the factory with not Jeff being alive. Wait a second. Herp-a-derp-derp. Anyway, we blow up the rocks blocking the track and press onward. I get some money following the tracks and find a train station. I first buy a ticket to Reindeer and to an old lady who gives us a hat. The hat is owned by our next party member. I buy a ticket and head to Snowman. Seeing as the enemies are still doing a good chunk of damage to me and this is a new area of new enemies, you know what time it is. Also, it'd be better for me to do this before getting our next member. I'll grind to level 30. Hold on! While I was leveling, I went to save for my game and this happens. And Sen Dad asks for our name. Just wanted to show that. Back to leveling! This is me experiencing experience that you can't experience. Any questions? Actually, due to a couple enemies like lone wolves still going around doing 8 damage to me, even with the defense buff, I went to level 35 instead. Heading east from town, I follow the path, enter the building, and we get our next member. Rip. I get on the train and head for Spookin'. We are not going back to Reindeer because that's just an extra side quest to get items that cure the cold stats effect. That's useless for our only character that we get in this run, which means it'll be instant death and we won't be able to use it anyway, so he will be useless. Strange, this area has past weaker enemies. Wait, what? Why is the red snake here? It's not supposed to appear from another town area or two. The red snake is the enemy that gives the most experience in the entire game. Anyway, I enter the hotel to heal up, however it turns out it's the Starman behind the counter. Luckily at level 33 or 34, I got PSI Power Shield. A powerful PSI that reflects both physical and PSI attacks. I don't know how long the shield lasts though. It helps me quit working the Starman. You're probably thinking right now, well that's just going to break this challenge wide open. Yes, I'm thinking the same thing too, except for one moment where the game I'm kind of worried about. I head down right into the town, far right of this town. This girl gives me a key. I head up from where she is and follow the path up the hills and find a mansion. I enter using the key. This area is big, but doesn't have items worth going out of the way for. Up, up, down, down is the solution to this maze. The unarmed enemies can be pretty tricky, but other than that, meh. I get the life up cream and check the piano and get our next tune. Going back to the station, I head back up to Union. I go back to town to heal up. We are now going to head northeast of the station and into the desert. In the desert, we find weird enemies this time, and I head up a little bit and then go to the right until I reach this cactus. This cactus gives us another tune. That's all for the desert, orbiting to Magicant. I go to the dungeon to face off against the dragon I went by earlier. Power shield, offensive up, attacking, it's done. I go back to the desert and I head down right, following tracks. Once I reach the other tracks, I head down left into the forest path. Soon I reach Junk Village. After going around the trees and reach the building far left of the town, I use telepathy on the baby and it teaches us teleport. I take the exit right side of town and enter the swamp maze. Got some crocodiles and Kelly robots. After going through the somewhat confusing yet not really swamp maze, we reach the last real town in the game, Elay. I go get $5,000, cause why not at this point, and go to the highest floor of the department store. I buy a ticket here for a cheap price. There's some guy outside who tries to scam me $1,500 for a ticket. I enter the theater and find out I need everyone alive to continue. This also means I have to buy another ticket. Bleh. Sorry, not Duke Nukem, challenges us to a fight. The game makes him only fight your main character for about 3 turns, and it ends. He decides to join us to get revenge on the aliens for his parents. Not Jeff stays behind. Now it's time for the worst section in the game, the ending areas. At least it makes sense. I head up right of town to start the journey. The path is straightforward to start with a swamp and forest area having a healing checkpoint along the way. Then it's time to enter a cave. The path through the cave is first path up, up left, down left, and I do a small shortcut trick to go up and around easily to the last section. I was so close to reaching the destination, but then I get turned to stone. Rip! I get back to the outside mountains past the cave easier this time, mainly because I remember the teleporting fast travel trick. Entering the building, we have our female partner wanting us. I turn her down every step of the way because, yes. Afterwards, we get forced into a fight we can't win. Not Jeff comes and saves us. Not Duke, however, is hurt and is done with the journey. Not Jeff rejoins us, and we back at the first checkpoint building before the cave. Lovely. I almost reached the location we got attacked from again, but then a bear decides he's not having any of it and full power one-shots me. After continuing, I found out I'm back at the location anyway. I could have done a death warp back here. Oh well. I heal up, which forces everyone alive, and it doesn't really matter. We get up the mountain to see more, and we get on a boat, which not Jeff needed to be alive for anyway. Traveling to the whirlpool, we enter a secret lab. We keep going left until we can get up to a ladder. We encounter a robot named Eve, and it joins us. Then we get forced back on land. Now this is where I thought things were going to turn out much different than a normal playthrough, but I was surprisingly wrong. So I read and heard online for a while now that you can get Eve killed early if you go the wrong way, which I do. However, it sounded like if I did this, you'd face a different enemy that would kill Eve, instead of just having to face a super strong red giant robot boss. Turns out that's not the case, and it just starts the fight early. This is a forced win fight with everyone forced to be alive, so no matter what you do, everyone gets experience. I had to end Eve early anyway for the challenge to be fair. We get the 7th tune from Eve. I continue climbing up the mountain pass and lake, and after a while, reach this coffin rock thing. We get the last tune. I head to Snowman to get my members killed so I don't have to keep telling them to defend or run away constantly, which is annoying. Turns out that doesn't really matter, because once I go to the Queen and sing her song, she heals everyone anyway. After that, Magicant is no more and we're back to the top of the mountain. I head into the cave and enter a side room. The game says there's no problem here. If you say so. I go back and reach the end of the path, healing up with the items I have, and we enter the final boss fight. We can't do anything to Gigu for the first few turns anyway, so I have Ninten buff defenses while the others defend to run away and do nothing. Gigu ends up killing them anyway, so doesn't have to waste time on that anymore. After getting my defenses up, I heal and defend until he stops talking about wanting me to join him, which when villains do that, it never works. Now I start slowly singing and healing when needed to. I think it takes like 10 or 11 singing commands for him to finally go down. Take a melody, simple as can be. Give it some words and sweet harmony. Raise your voices all day long now. Love so strong now, sing a melody of love for love. I really shouldn't sing. So it is indeed possible to beat Mother 1 with only Ninten, no equipment, and items only outside of battle. It was easier than I thought it would be because we didn't have to face that giant red robot alone like I thought we would have to for getting rid of Eve early. This was somewhat fun and somewhat annoying. There were some parts that I wasted my time due to not fully understanding the flags of the game. That's my fault. Also, the ability to miss the Franklin badge is really bad, however, and that's bad design. Like I said, this game doesn't age as well as the other games in the series. However, one thing this game has over other games in the series is its challenge. This can't be done with the other games because they force you to solo with the other characters during certain sections. I probably won't be coming back to this game for a long time. It was fun while it lasted. I hope you have enjoyed this little 30th anniversary Mother 1. I hope to see you next time for whatever. I probably won't be able to do more commentary-based things for a while again, though. This was a rare moment, so I took it. See you next time, everyone!